The first 5 minutes of this episode were so unbelievably chaotic. They were so unbelievably unnecessary. I hope the show isn't falling into the we have to show up and perform for reality TV like phase, because these 5 minutes, no ma'am, no. What's good, y'all? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. Let's talk Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. This is season 2, episode 4, Summer Under Pressure. Okay. I still really enjoy the show. I do. But there's something about some of the cast members this season that feels like they're trying to play into the reality TV game. Some of them, it feels like they're saying, okay, we need to show up and show out because so many people are watching us now and we were a hit last season. We got to really step our game up. I think a lot of the drama is still very authentic and organic, but I think some people, i.e., Summer, I want to say Summer, and I feel that just might be Bria. I feel like Summer came into this season saying, I'm about to come in and make my mark, and it's not landing. It's not landing. Let's talk about this episode, y'all. So Summer comes in and it picks up. Let's rewind. It picks up where we left off last week with Jordan and Summer arguing in the car. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was on Jordan's side about this entire car argument. I don't like when people are passive aggressive. I don't like when people come in with the energy of that Summer had. If you want to have a conversation with Jordan about her smart ass mouth, sit down and have a conversation with Jordan about her smart mouth. But for you to be like, well, I'm not a good friend to you, well, girl, skip your ass in the house. Summer was doing too much. Because in that moment, if you're yelling at Jordan, y'all know how she is, you know that she is going to yell back. Not defending Jordan by any means, because she has a terrible attitude, a terrible, nasty disposition about herself. But Summer really did just start yelling at her for no reason. So Summer goes stomping in the house. Jordan is in the car with Preston and Alex trying to figure out what is going on. So Summer's upstairs and she's stomping through the house, and she goes and asks Jasmine if she can sleep in her room with her. Noelle is spiraling in her room, crying because she's embarrassed. Well, Noelle, you did this to yourself, sis. You made that man feel as if you thought y'all were in a relationship. I cannot feel sorry for you, Noelle. The way that you approached Alex was wild, okay? Shanise and Nick are drunk downstairs and they got all these different bags of chips, trying out different variations of chips with the dip. That was funny. But they're downstairs going through that. Preston is telling Jordan that Summer feels that you can blow up sometimes. And Jordan, you do. You do. See, Jordan's problem is nobody has ever checked her ass in. We saw just last week when Preston was like, well, for some people it's just kind of expected or we're used to it. No. Absolutely not. Y'all should have never let Jordan talk to y'all last summer the way that she was. Part of being a friend is holding each other accountable. My best friend has a smart ass mouth, and I check her ass in when she says stuff that I think is unnecessary or rude. The same way that I have a very smart mouth, and she will check me in if she feels that I have said something out of line or rude. By no means should you ever give somebody the ability to talk to you any kind of way that they want to. Y'all should have been talked to Jordan about her mouth. Instead of just saying, that's just how she is, check her in. See, Jordan ain't came across the right person yet. That's what that is. So, Summer is telling Jasmine that Jordan is always so defensive. She is. She then says that, I was there for her when I was just holding her when she was crying in the bathroom a couple of hours ago. And as soon as she said that, I was like, Summer. Summer, summer, summer. Because there was no reason for you to say that. Because what Summer did in that moment is she completely threw Jordan under the bus. Because what Summer is now doing is saying, well, you should never say anything to me. Because like, at the table, from what I remember, all Jordan said was who was laughing, and Summer got big with her. So what Summer is trying to do is to victimize herself. Well, here I was just holding you while you're crying and you're having a meltdown, and I was there for you. So then the rest of the day, you should be forever indebted to me. That's the vibe that Summer gave off. So meanwhile, downstairs, Preston and Jordan can hear everything that's being said because Summer is yelling at the top of her lungs, pacing around like a little weirdo. Don't bring Summer back. Summer does not need to come back for season 3 whatsoever. So Shanise comes downstairs and asks Jordan if she's okay because Summer said that she had a little crying incident earlier. So now Jordan starts crying in front of everybody now. And she said that she feels that everything that she does is used against her. She feels that Summer used that against her by bringing it up just now. I actually agree with Jordan. I do. And y'all know I don't always see it for Jordan because that is a mean ass heifer. But I feel that in that moment, Summer did try to throw that in Jordan's face. She did. So Jordan melts to the floor and she tells Shanise and Nick and Preston that her hair is falling out and she's kind of upset with Summer for even telling people about this little vulnerable moment that they had. Everybody go to bed. Everybody go to bed because it was too much going on. The next morning, Shanise, Jasmine, Alex, and Nick go to church. Shanise, your skirt was entirely too short. Your outfit was inappropriate. You didn't bring a pair of slacks with you, girl. You don't have a dress that don't show the crack of your ass. You were dressed inappropriate for church. You don't have to have a lot of money to have appropriate clothes that cover your body. So Preston and Bria are talking back at the house. Preston and Summer. That should say Summer. So Preston and Summer are talking back at the house. He lets Summer know Jordan feels that you used you being there for her against her in that moment. Summer lies and said, well, I didn't say anything about her condition. It doesn't matter. She didn't lie, Summer stated. But it doesn't matter, though. If you feel that Jordan was talking to you a certain way at dinner or just now in the car, you bringing up that, but earlier that day, I was hugging her and I was there for her and all that other type of stuff. Those two things are mutually exclusive. There was no reason for you to bring that up. You did try to throw it in her face. So then Summer said that she tries to take care of Jordan and she feels like she takes on her emotions. I think the bigger issue is, did Jordan tell you to take care of her? Did Jordan ask you to take care of her? Let's be real. I think Summer came into this house. I forgot whose friend she was coming into this house last season. You latched on to Jordan. Y'all became cool. I think you saw an opening because there was a rift between Jordan and Jasmine. And I think Summer latched onto that because Summer wanted to come back on this show. That's what I think happened. Because I feel like, Summer, you're doing a lot this season, sis, for no reason. So Noelle is sitting out by the pool and she tells us, she's talking to, what's her face? Noelle is talking to Summer. After Summer goes up into the room that she's sharing with Jordan, and it's like down by the pool if you want to join. Girl, not with that stank invitation. I don't. I'll stay up here. So they're out talking, and Noelle tells us that her parents got divorced when she was a baby, 8 months old to be exact. She says that her father was an absentee parent, didn't want anything to do with her. So, because of that, she spent her teenage years searching for the love that she so desperately wanted from her father. I feel like that explains a lot of why Noelle kind of latched on to Alex so quickly. She has daddy issues. So she said that she kind of wants to, like, she would write letters and all these different things to her father, kind of asking, like, why don't you want me? What did I do as a baby, as an infant? Why? What's good with this? So she just basically wants to ask her dad, why don't you love me as you should? I feel bad for her in this moment. I did. Um, I say all the time how grateful I am that I came I grew up in a two-parent loving household. My parents are still married. And while a lot of times people say that and it's like, yeah, but it wasn't a great experience. I know some people that grew up in two-parent households and they were able to say yes, two-parent household, but it wasn't a great situation. I am fortunate enough that I grew up in that. So I always feel bad because I'm a true daddy's girl. So I always feel bad, like, and I just empathize with people when I see these women that, or just people in general, men as well, that are like wondering why one of their parents just didn't give a damn. Like, you know how awful of a person you have to be to have a baby and to walk out of that child's life, a part of you, your flesh and blood, and you don't give a damn about them. I feel so bad for Noelle. I honestly did. So, but then Noelle is at this pool spiraling. Okay, so then we have Bria, Noelle, and Summer. They're inside the house, and Bria feels a way about Jasmine bringing Mariah still. She feels that Jasmine should have talked to her about it first, and I 1,000% agree. I do not like Bria. I don't like anything about Bria. I think that Bria is insufferable on this show. But Bria's 1,000% right. Jasmine bought this ticket before talking to the cast about it. And y'all can defend Jasmine all you want to in these comments. That was wrong. It was wrong to do. Economic decision or not. Jasmine was not going to cancel that flight. Jasmine was by no means going to ever tell Mariah, you can't come. What she should have done is sat down and had a conversation about this, because let's be real, Bravo would have paid for Mariah's ticket to come back to the show. So that's cap anyways. But by no means is Jasmine in the right for booking a ticket for that girl and then talking to everybody about it and then lying about it and saying that she bought the ticket the day before. I understand why Bria is irritated by it. But at the same time, Bria, you sat up there and you told them that you were okay with it. You sat up there and you made a big deal about people not wanting Phil in the house. This is the same situation. Everybody's wrong. Everybody involved is wrong with this. So Bria then also feels the way she wasn't invited to church. So does Noelle. Noelle, I guess, ended up in the room with Summer. No, ended up in the room with, who was it? Summer. No. Yes, Summer ended up in the room. No, you know what? I don't know. Because I feel like the names on the screens were wrong. Nonetheless, Noelle feels a way. No, it was Summer. Noelle feels a way that Alex came to the room and asked Summer if she wanted to go to church, but not her. Girl, you heard him say something about going to church. If you wanted to go, you should have got your ass up and went to church. So Noelle calls her mom because she wants to talk about Alex. So now she's crying to her mom about this, and I was with her mom. Stop all this damn crying. What are you crying for, Noelle? What are you crying for? He's not interested, sis. He's not interested. He is not like he slept with you and led you on. Alex, to my understanding, from what I can see, did not lead you on at all. He told you point blank period right away that he don't see it for you. He's not interested. And I feel like that should be okay. That should be okay. But Summer, we got to suck it up, Buttercup. And I mean, I'm Noelle, and I like you, Noelle. I think Noelle is a perfect fit to this group. But my God, sis, they have a very rushed beach day scene, and I think this is one of my issues with the show too. I think it's the fact that they have two events a day because everybody gets to plan out whatever, but they're very rushed. And I don't know how many episodes this season is going to be, but I think if they were to have this show however many days they're there, we get that many episodes, then the pacing of the show would be better. We know that they are there for 2 weeks, 15 days. There should be at least 15 episodes, at the least. Because this beach day scene, while it wasn't a lot of anything to it, we don't know because it felt very rushed. The entire scene happened within one in between, commercial breaks. Or it was a pointless scene to even show. We didn't need to see it, and I feel like we could have benefited from more of what happened at the dinner table. So we then get Summer and Jordan sitting down to have a conversation. Jordan says she doesn't understand why Summer brought up a very private moment to anybody and feels it was a violation. Now, Jordan stated that, articulated it very well. She wasn't yelling. She wasn't on 10. I agree with her. There was literally no reason for you to bring up that I had a little meltdown in the bathroom earlier. Why bring that up later? Because you're mad at me. Summer is not to be trusted. She's not. As much as we don't see her for Jordan, we have not heard Jordan blast anything that Jasmine has ever been vulnerable with her about. We haven't seen her do that. So Summer said that she was just saying how she was just caring for her. But again, what does that have to do with the argument that happened later? See, the issue with Summer is you're okay with Jordan and the way that she talks as long as it's not directed towards you. That's not the first time that you felt Jordan has talked crazy to you. It's not the first time if you've seen Jordan talk crazy to somebody else. So why is it such a big deal now? So Jordan doesn't feel like Summer provides a safe place for her. How can I be vulnerable with you when you're basically going to use it against me the next time you're mad at me to tell other people about it? I saw some people on Twitter saying that Jordan talked about how Summer was, I guess, kissing with some dude in front of her building. That's different. These are different situations. Jordan is having a meltdown and she's vulnerable because of the situation with her alopecia and what she's going through with that. And she looked to Summer as a friend in that moment. Summer getting hot and heavy, necking with somebody in public in front of her building are two different things. We cannot like Jordan, but we gotta learn how to differentiate from scenarios. So Summer smiles and it's like, I got it. Private moment should remain private. I'm not good at that. Jordan, don't you tell Summer shit else. Don't tell Summer nothing else. Because that smirk that she gave meant I did it and I'll do it again if I want to. That's the vibe that I got from it, at least. So Summer feels that Jordan can just be very, very angry, which she is with her tone. But again, you've tolerated her doing it when it's to other people. Y'all need to sit Jordan's ass down and talk about the way that she talks to y'all. Y'all keep overlooking it though. Jordan just said, okay. I hollered. Jordan basically said, okay, and who gonna check me, boo? Jordan does not care. And the fact that Summer just rolled along with it, nothing's ever gonna be resolved. Tell Jordan quit talking to you like that. That's what y'all have to do. So Jordan feels like her trust is violated. She don't really trust Summer anymore. I don't blame her. So Jasmine is on FaceTime with Silas and said that people are starting to suspect. And like we all knew, Jasmine is pregnant. She is showing too. Jasmine, that's why people are starting to suspect, girl, you done popped. But congrats to her. She wants to wait till her second trimester, which is in just a couple of days. So I'm assuming we're going to get. Oh, we see the preview. She's going to tell everybody. Jordan does not look pleased. I'll tell you that. So we then get Bria is throwing a little carnival. Again, a very pointless kind of wasted scene, very rushed. She has these llamas with these top hats on. Milo was ready. He was ready to run up on them. Jordan is a wet blanket, as she has been since season one. Every time we see Jordan, she is soaking. She has a frown on her face. She is just a miserable person in regards to this show. Jordan really doesn't need to come back. Jordan is not happy in the capacity of this show. She just isn't. They keep asking Bria when Simon is coming. Bria gets all defensive. He's coming when he comes. Girl, no, ma'am. The reason they're asking is because you beat them over the head about Simon coming last year. So she's in her confessional. I don't ask them about when they're doing things. No, your little feelings to her. You swole in the chest because you just had a conversation with Simon and he hasn't bought a plane ticket yet because he feels they're expensive. Just be real and say, oh, I don't know if he's going to make it. Okay. So Noelle was plucking Jordan's wig for her. God bless her. Because she plucked the shit out that wig and gave her a nice little natural looking part. Jordan just has to smooth it out at the top, flat iron that shit down. But I feel like all the other wigs that you brought, give them to Noelle. Go back to No Salon on the Vineyard, like she called it, and have her help you. Jordan's issue might be because she's embarrassed about the wigs, she does not want to ask for help. We need to see Noelle doing your hair and helping you with these wigs the remainder of the season. Every time a new wig comes in, every time you get a new delivery, you need to be going right back to Noelle's room and saying, hey, can you help me with this wig? We get to dinner, and this is where things got very chaotic. This is where everything went wrong. This is where it's like, were y'all really friends before y'all came on the show, or was everybody just a coworker? Jordan is super quiet. She's not bothering anybody. She's sitting there. She ordered a rack of lambs. But she is over there not bothering anybody, eating her lamb chops quietly to herself. Alex said, Jordan is quiet. I just want to check in. He doesn't feel like he's hearing her voice as much as he used to. So everyone's joking, he misses your voice, Jordan. And she's like, I doubt that. But in regards to what? What are we, I'm quiet in regards to what? Bria then said, deep down, Jordan, how are you feeling? Jordan said that she's experienced a lot of loss in her life, and that impacts how she looks at life as a whole. So I know we knew that Jordan's mother had passed away, but we get a little more in depth with this. She said that she's worried about missing out on different experiences with her dad. Even though her father's not sick, that's how she looks at life now because of the fact that her mother passed when she was 17. In her mind, she's constantly worried about time. Is my dad going to live to see me get married? Is my dad going to be able to walk me down the aisle? Is my dad going to, be there when I have the birth of my first child? Like, all these different experiences go through her head. And I felt bad for her when she explained that. Like, that's such a traumatizing way to live when you are constantly worried about if somebody's going to basically make it to the next day. So she talks about her mom passing when she was 17 and how because her mother was the only child and Jordan is the only child, she basically inherited her grandparents. So that does give you a lot of responsibility, right? Especially at 17. So there are two of us. I have an older brother. I am the only child in the city. So a lot of responsibility does fall on you when you are basically the sole person looking after your parents. So because my brother is not in the city or in the state, a lot of it does fall on me. So when there are different doctor's appointments, I have to make sure that my parents are not lying to me about what might be going on. My parents, both of them, were in the ER within 3 months of each other. That solely falls on me. Solely. I can call my brother, but he lives 9 hours away by car. I can call my brother and like, okay, what should I do? Have to do this, have to do all this other type of stuff. I had to sign POA paper for my parents. So like, I'm the sole POA for them, even though I have even though I have a brother, because he wasn't here to sign for the paperwork. So I am responsible for all these different things that go on with my parents, health-wise, aside from tech issues, aside from just helping out do stuff. And I have a sibling that I can call and tell him, you need to fly your ass home. You need to come home because we have to deal with this, that, and the other. So I can understand Jordan taking on that responsibility at 17 to a more magnified scale. And I think it sheds more light on why Jordan is the way that she is, but it doesn't excuse it by any means. So she then talks about how she is losing her hair and she doesn't know if she's okay. She doesn't know what's going on with her, all of this type of stuff. So the camera pans over to Jasmine, who looks upset, like she has no idea what's going on with her once best friend. So Alex then said that he understands Jordan more on a deeper level after this one conversation than he did all of last year. And Jordan said, well, that's not true. You don't understand me because you had my friend effed up and I was ready to kick your butt because of it. And it's like, Jordan, girl, what? So she then go on to further explain and say that Alex called her toxic when he first met her, which is true. Alex came into that house that first episode when they were out to dinner, that first time, and he did judge all those women there. He did. Alex came in on very, very pompous, arrogant, I think I'm too good for any of these women here type of time. You did call Jordan toxic without knowing her, without knowing anything about her. You said that you could see her as being the toxic friend, and y'all had, like, she hadn't said 2 or 3 words. And I feel like in that moment, that started her villain arc on the show. Jordan's energy was not heavy, I feel like, until he said that to her. So she then said, you also judged Shanise and you Googled her, and we all know that whole situation. Alex said that he didn't know anything about Shanise, and he's tired of people saying he Googled people because he didn't. He said, I heard from Nick. Nick did admit last season that he's the one that Googled everybody and was doing background checks on everybody and all this type of stuff. So Shanise then goes out. Wait a minute. Before that, so Alex said that he only brought it up because he wanted to protect Shanise, and he felt that people were going to talk about it, so he wanted to give her the opportunity to control the narrative. Alex, that's bullshit, because that was not your place to do. For you to say, I don't know her, to talk to her about it, but I'm going to blast it to the world and bring it up so she can control her narrative is bullshit. It's bullshit. You brought it up to be messy. You brought it up to judge her. You bringing that up was not to protect her. How are you protecting somebody you don't know? She didn't ask for your protection. You could have just went to Shanise and talked about it, as we all said last year. Y'all all sat and had conversations, at least 2 to 3, about the fact that Shanise was accused of being a stalker. So Shanise then pipes up and said, protect me? You traumatized me because you got that shit going back into the algorithm. So now, when people do go to Google me, this comes up again, whereas it had died down. I didn't know anything of it because they're calling, in those articles, were calling her boyfriend, her ex boyfriend, an insecure star. He was not a star on the show, he was a guest star in, I think, one or two episodes. So then there, Jasmine is like, well, who brought it up? Like, how did this even start? Alex points out, we were talking in this group. This group talked about it. Shanise didn't want to talk about it. We squashed it. Jasmine, you brought it up again at dinner. We get the flashback. And this is why so many people do not see it for Jasmine, because Jasmine was doing a lot of funky acting shit last season. They did squash it at the table, and Jasmine kept bringing it up because Jasmine was trying to play producer last season, and she was trying to create all this unnecessary drama. So Shanise is crying, and she said that it's a legal issue and that she didn't do anything. Bria is like, no, I'm vouching for you. You did not stalk him. You didn't do any of this, which Bria did say last season, but Alex chose to ignore her and kept running with the scenario that he's uncomfortable with Shanise because she was pegged as a stalker. Shanise points out that the case was thrown out. It was dismissed because that man, the ex-boyfriend, could not prove that she was stalking him. He is now suing her for $20,000. So Lord have mercy. On top of Shanise getting fired, now she has a lawsuit for $20,000. Her life is a mess right now. So Alex then asks if he can give her a hug, and he does. Earlier, Preston asked Jordan if he could give her a hug, and the way that Jordan, she needed that hug. Like, y'all should be asking Jordan every couple hours, you need a hug, girl? You need a hug? So everybody's getting hugs, and we're like, okay, everybody, let's bring it down a notch. Y'all can't get through dinner without there being drama. Preston then points out how they are all responsible for why everybody does not share certain things, himself included. Noelle was like, everybody at the table? Because I just met y'all. Noelle was on some, don't put me in this, because I don't know y'all. So I've been very open and warm and giving. And Noelle was working overtime the way she'd been going around to everybody, hugging everybody and rubbing everybody's back. Noelle was like, all of us? You mean all of us? All of us? That was funny. So, next thing we know, Bria said that she has been inauthentic about how she's been feeling, and everybody collectively was like, oh, good God. So, Bria wants to point out she does not feel comfortable with Mariah coming. Jasmine kind of made a face as if she was saying, girl, what? And who cares? Too bad she's coming. Bria then said that Mariah F's with her mental peace. But you want Phil, who has effed with the mental peace of so many people in the house, to come. Bria, I don't think Bria cares about Mariah coming. I think Bria is mad that Phil cannot come back to this house. Jasmine said that she feels bamboozled. She says she's frustrated, and she is allowed to feel frustrated. And Jordan pipes up and said Jasmine is saying that she needs a moment. Bria says she's not comfortable with Mariah coming since she put hands on her. Noelle is like, can we get some shots? Can we get some shots? Amir goes to get some shots. Jordan says she was going to the bathroom. And then we see her end up at the bar with Amir. So Jasmine says in her confessional that her mother is a brilliant and resilient 2-time convicted felon and not to try her. I'm sorry, Jasmine, what does that have to do with anything? Girl, that sounded like a threat. I don't understand. Like, that was so out of place and weird. That was so out of place and weird to say. So then we cut to them asking Bria, why were you okay with Summer here when Summer did assault you? You and Summer did get into a physical altercation. She said that she suppresses her feelings for Summer. Now, to me, I'm sorry, but this does not make sense. Summer visibly ran after you and pushed you. You're okay with that, but Mariah pushing your dog clothes, your dog leash, or whatever Milo stuff was into your shoulder and calling you a bitch, you're not okay with that? That doesn't make sense, Bria. I'm sorry, but that doesn't make sense. What Summer did to you was 1,000% worse than what Mariah did. 1,000%. So Amir and Jordan are hiding at the bar talking about, so we can take our shots in here. We can wait, It's, it's cool in here, the air. No, y'all know that it's some foolishness going on at that table. Bria then said that because she can't get loud and express herself here, she's going to go back to the house and get loud there. And it's like, girl, what? Literally nobody has said you can't express yourself. What are you talking about? Preston said in his confessional that Bria be acting like she ghetto, and she does. Nobody's falling for this. Nobody's scared of you, Bria. You're all talk. You can't back it up. You do a lot of this. You're all lip service. Much like Candace from the Real Housewives of Potomac. You're all talk. Can't back it up. When people say something back to you, you be ready to cry. Jasmine starts crying, saying that she doesn't need any of this summer. She just wants fun and support because she is going through a lot. Somebody, shout out to the post, I can't remember your name, but somebody wrote me on Instagram to say that apparently Jordan was live on her Instagram and said that they were informed there will be a cast shakeup for season 3. Jordan, you, Bria, and Summer do not need to come back to the show. That needs to be the cast shakeup. You three do not need to come back to the show. Bring in some more single men, bring in some more people into the house, but y'all three need to be gone. Jordan, Bria, and Summer. Y'all cause majority of the chaos in this house, and we the people, we the viewers, and your castmates, your housemates are pretty much over it. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys in the comment section. Peace.